Welcome to the Get Emergent podcast. The Get Emergent podcast guides leaders to creatively strengthen relationships and improve performance of their leadership and those that they lead. We like to provide concepts and ideas that you can turn into pragmatic experiments to help you develop your higher potential in your work and in your leadership. And we hope you're going to find some better practices to apply directly into your work. I'm Bill Berthel.
And I'm Ralph Simone. And Bill, I'm excited about today's topic because I think I might know something about it.
That's always good, right? That's what.
Unlike some other topics, but the three P's of team dynamics. Tell me about the three P's and why they're important for our listeners.
We'll share the three P's right away, and then we can tease out a little bit of importance in each of them, I think, as we talk about them. We're talking about popularity, personality, and performance. Those are the three P's: popularity, personality, and performance. And we think they're incredibly important for, well, each one is important for different reasons. I think the performance is obvious. We come together in an organization or a team to perform, right? There's something where we're building, creating, making, serving. There's a performance metric that's there. And ultimately, every team has something they are trying to accomplish through performance. Personality, we all bring it. We have
some bring it a little more than others.
Well, that's the truth, right? So whatever system, structure, model you want to look at, right? We utilize DISC in some of our training and some of our work, looking at 4 personality types. Many people know the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. There's lots of great. Ocean is a really great personality model, not one we particularly use that much, but personality, is the way in which we are motivated, the way we behave, the way we communicate. We demonstrate personality. Becomes very important.
And the reason that we introduce those as part of team programs is for understanding and the ability to manage and capitalize on the differences, right? I think too often the personality should enhance or lead to higher performance, not get in the way or not be an excuse to performance.
100%, right? So we often say understanding personality gives us a framework for understanding self and others. Mm-hmm. That's just the cognitive piece. It also gives us an opportunity to behave more effectively with self and others, right? So there's a cognitive piece of understanding, and then there's a embodying and adjusting and being agile. And then popularity. This one sounds so high school, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
I don't have to vote you homecoming king, and it's not the popularity contest. I like the way you framed it when we were talking about this earlier. There's a likability factor.
So I think that, and maybe it's because I think I'm likable, but I do think there's a likability index. And, you can't say, oh, shit, I just know what I'm doing. I mean, if your likability index increases a little bit, you become easier to deal with. If you're easier to deal with, I think you can get more done. I think it ties to performance.
Absolutely. It ties to performance. These three, performance, personality, and popularity, are connected. I don't know if it's a Venn diagram, they overlap, what it looks like, but they're interwoven in our team dynamics, how we operate together in a team.
Absolutely. And to the extent that we can become more likable, more popular, to the extent that we can manage our personality and engage with multiple personalities, right? I don't know if we call that psychological adaptability.
Yeah.
To the extent that we can be focused and aligned around clear goals, we should be able to check the box on these three Ps.
Absolutely. I think about, a favorite TV show we've talked about often here is Ted Lasso. And I think about the likability and personality differences on the soccer team, that Ted works so much to get the players to like one another enough. And some of those personalities were hard to like, even as a viewer, right? Imagine having to perform at a high level on the field. Ultimately, that's what Ted, as the coach, got them to click on, was in the context of the game, like me. In the context of the game, know what the personalities are that's going to work. In the context of the game, perform, bring your skill sets, and utilize the skill sets of your teammates.
I think that's beautifully said. And I think some people cop out on this one.
Very much.
I don't need to like them or they don't need to like me as long as they respect me. But in the context of the game, there needs to be a likability. There needs to be an appreciation of the differences you bring so we can capitalize on them. There needs to be a clear performance outcomes. And I've heard this statement too much. Well, I don't need to be liked. I just need to be respected. I think you need both, actually.
I think so. And I think you can apply that to personality. How many times do we sweep it under the carpet by just saying, they're just having a personality conflict or their personalities don't mesh? I don't think we should be condoning that, especially as a leader. Now, that doesn't mean you hit it head on.
No,
I
no.
think it's thoughtfully positioning personality as complementary, not opposites. We keep
That
looking at opposition and not the complementary opportunities here.
and I'm remembering, I think this is from my Myers-Briggs certification.
Yeah.
This might have been even Carl Jung, but your type is not an excuse for inexcusable behavior.
Love that. Say that again.
Your personality, I'll put
Yes.
it that way, is not an excuse for inexcusable behavior.
Yes.
I mean, you got to own it. You got to own this ability to flex your personality, to work with other personalities in a complementary way, as you've just said. And I think that drives up your likability index, quite frankly.
It absolutely does. And there is something about having shared language or shared models. That's what we get to do in much of our team training or team development work with teams, is that we give them a shared understanding and a shared language, some shared ways in which they can start becoming more complementary than polarizing in their personalities.
This is going to sound like I'm patting us on the back here, but I was thinking about these three P's of team dynamics as it relates to us and one of our larger clients. And I'm looking at those two entities as a team.
Yes.
Quite frankly, as an outside service provider, I think we're one of the more popular service providers because we have a high likability index. Our personalities, though, are very different
Oh, yeah.
if you took the predominant
Sure.
personality. But we found ways to make them complementary.
Yes.
And I think where we have aligned maybe more quickly is on the performance that we are intending to achieve, the outcomes, right? More leadership effectiveness, more team effectiveness, people being able to have vital conversations with one another. But I think that we have those three P's. They are absolutely important.
Yeah. Yeah. We just focus on the popularity and personality. I think we're talking about stuff that could feel better, the way in which we get along. But the third leg on this three-legged stool is performance. It's not just to get along better, it will show up in our metrics on our team.
And energetically, it's sustained performance. If it's too hard, because we're constantly looking at these different personalities as opposites and not complementary. If we are, dislike the people on the team too much, energetically, we will not have the ability to sustain the performance or take it to the next level.
Yeah, I'm going to steal a little thunder from a future offering for team development that we're actually developing currently. That belonging is incredibly important on any team. And belonging isn't a place or a location, it's a mindset. So think about that belonging is a mindset. You belong here because it's in the way in which you're approaching being here. Part of that is who you're here with. And if we hold the mindset of complementary behaviors, popular enough, you don't have to be my best friend. I don't have to invite you to every single family outing, but likable enough to enjoy working with.
This conversation is kind of taking me to a podcast we just recorded ahead of this. Hosting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hosting and belonging. So
Yes.
if I'm hosting this conversation, this meeting, holding the space in a way that is welcoming, you will feel like you belong.
Yes. Yes. You'll probably be more likable and you'll be looking for ways to be agile with your teammates.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to perform at a higher level, and so will your teammates with that.
Yeah, what's coming up for me, and I play devil's advocate a lot with myself, my clients, our team. Your opinion of me is none of my business.
Mm,
There's a piece of that, right? So I don't want to be too attached. Maybe I don't want to be attached at all, but I want to be mindful of the importance of being liked in fully contributing to a team and its outcomes.
yeah, attached enough for connection, right? Because you're on a team.
Right.
We often say the name on the front of the jersey is more important than the one on the back, right? So connected enough in a way that we are team. We get to choose how attached, right? We're not asking for the craziest, highest levels of attachment, but absolute connection through likable enough, agile with our personalities so we can perform at higher levels together.
Bill, I think that was brilliant to bring back in that it was a Herb Brooks quote, who was the 1980
Yeah.
gold medal Olympic hockey coach. If I can keep in mind, I'm going to bring this back to me right now. If I can keep in mind that the name on the front of our jersey
Yep.
is more important than the name on the back of my jersey, Simone, I will be a better team contributor. I will contribute to the team dynamic in a more positive way if I can just keep that in mind.
I know your microphone's on a boom, but I'd ask you to mic drop at that point right there. Ralph, thank you.
Okay, Bill. Appreciate it.
Hey, folks, and thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode and that you're looking forward to more. You can listen to a new podcast 2 times every month here at Get Emergent or wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you picked up something you're going to apply to your leadership and work, let us know how it goes by reaching out to support@getemergent.com. Thank you.